My name is Sydney Songer. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner and the Gemstone Education Specialist with Gemisphere, and today I want to talk to you about Peach Moonstone. Now, Peach Moonstone is all about peace and rejuvenation, and that has a couple different implications in the body and in the mind. Now, we live in a world that is very stressful. It's stressful. We all have a lot of things going on, whether it's in our private, personal life or in our professional life. We tend to run a certain level of stress all the time that we often have a hard time letting go of or turning off. This is something that's referred to as a sympathetic nervous state. This is when we are sort of in that high stress, reactive, fight or flight mode where we're just trying to survive. We're trying to get through our day and trying to deal with everything that's going on. Now, the problem with this state, it can be useful and it's often necessary, but if we stay in it, it starts to create issues. It is not a state that we are meant to be in all the time. And when we're in this state, our energy can become very rigid and locked down, especially if it is triggered by things like fear or stress or grief or trauma or pain. These are states where our energy becomes locked down and incredibly rigid in a way that inhibits our ability to relax. It affects our ability to sleep. It starts to affect our body's ability to function in a healthy way. It can cause our digestion to slow down. It can cause things like chronic muscle tension and tightness or chronic pain patterns that can crop up. We start to see things like anxiety and depression or insomnia. The circadian rhythm gets thrown off. And so being able to relax and shift out of this sympathetic mode into a parasympathetic mode or a state of deep relaxation is incredibly important because that's the state in which we heal. That's why when we sleep at night, it's important for us to have good sleep hygiene and for us to get adequate sleep, because it's shifting us into this parasympathetic state, and that's a state where our body's able to sort of catch up and recalibrate, and a lot of healing factors start taking place during sleep, but also when we're relaxing. So doing things like meditation, those can be incredibly important because it's shifting us again from that sympathetic to the parasympathetic. And so Peach Moonstone comes in, and I love Peach Moonstone because it's like this very beautiful combination of moonstone, carnelian, and mother of pearl put together, which are all incredibly supportive and nurturing, just kind of in their nature. And Peach Moonstone to me has always felt like it's sort of the energy of swinging in a hammock and listening to waves at the beach. It's like that level of ease and peace where you just feel tension and stress melting away. And so it's a lovely experience, but it's also a very useful one because when we start wearing Peach Moonstone, the frequency of it starts in the aura or in the superphysical body, and it kind of uses this wave-like motion to gently massage and work its way through these areas of more rigid and stuck energies. These are the fear and stress and grief and pain patterns that can happen and that we sometimes tend to hold and not let go of. So it kind of massages through those areas and opens things up and allows there to be more movement and more relaxation that's occurring. And then it makes it to the physical body, and it works its way down through the different layers, through the tissue and the organs, down all the way to the cellular level, through the cellular membranes, to try and encourage the shift in vibration from the sympathetic to a parasympathetic mode, and to try and encourage this like release of energy. So instead of holding that energy and that rigidity and that tightness of these lower vibration emotions that we might be feeling or have been holding, it's letting that go and allowing us to have a greater sense of ease being in our own body, allowing our mind to relax, allowing our tissue to relax. So, if we've been holding a lot of tension in our muscles, allowing those to finally let go so our body can rest. We don't often realize how much energy it takes to be that restricted and just in this defensive kind of constricted zone. So allowing the body to really sort of take a breath and lean into a state of peace and feel this level of peace. It can do a lot of different things for us, including helping the mind recalibrate around things like anxiety and depression, lessening these, especially in conjunction with things like breath work or body work or other mind-body modalities, things like therapy or any other kind of conscious treatment that you might be doing for these types of things. It can be a wonderful tool to use with that to kind of encourage that movement and that flow. But it can also be very useful for things like body work, when we're having massage work done, or rolfing, or myofascial work, whatever that might be, helping to encourage those tissues to relax and let go. So as whoever's working on you is massaging those tissues, it's kind of helping to allow that therapy to get through and to actually do the work that it's needing to do. So that's a wonderful side effect. We also find that the sleep cycle tends to be more improved, so helping to kind of balance the circadian rhythm. Sometimes this is a happy side effect, either directly or indirectly, of the fact that it also helps to kind of balance hormones, especially female hormones a little bit, but also adrenal, so things like cortisol as well. So we find that, you know, in high states of stress, these the endocrine system especially can take a hit, but the female reproductive hormones in the adrenal glands will tend to get really thrown off by these sympathetic states that we can get locked into. And so as we calm the system, these can sometimes begin to correct themselves, which has a ripple effect in a lot of different ways. But so there's a spectrum of color for peach moonstone, and this ranges from light peach all the way to almost orange peach. And then there's, you know, a spectrum in between. The lighter the peach moonstone, the more it is going to be focused on things like relaxation and peace, and focusing on the nervous system and the mind, and really helping the body to integrate this state of peace and just to kind of let go and shift into parasympathetic. And it does this in a really gentle and soothing sort of way. The darker you get, it tends to become a bit more intense in terms of how the frequency of it focuses on things like adrenal fatigue, balancing the adrenal glands, focusing on hormone balancing, and these kinds of things. And so it's actually important to note that if you have been in a state of fight or flight for a long time, if you have been in that holding pattern and your nervous system is exhausted, the more orange peach moonstone may be a little too strong for you out the gate. If that is the case and you're wanting to focus on things like hormone balancing or dealing with the endocrine system especially, but your nervous system isn't quite where it needs to be, my suggestion to you would actually be to go the route of working with something like carnelian and then adding something like mother of pearl to it. So the carnelian works on the endocrine system and balancing the hormones and uplifting that system, and then the mother of pearl comes in to sort of soothe the nervous system. So you have this sort of twofold approach that's going to take into account the fact that your nervous system is needing some caretaking and shouldn't be too overstimulated. Now, if your nervous system is not overtaxed and you're wanting to have these benefits of relaxation throughout the system and also having that increased amount of hormone balancing, then going with the more peach moonstone would be fabulous for you, and I highly recommend it. So that's just some like basic guidelines to follow when you're selecting and choosing the peach moonstone that you want to work with. If you have additional questions, please feel free to visit us at Gemisphere.com. You can also call Gemisphere and speak to someone at the office, and you're also welcome to schedule a private consultation with me. I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have, including how peach moonstone might be appropriate to use in your life or in conjunction with other gemstones that you may already currently have. If you like the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I will be doing more educational videos as we go along, and you will be notified as soon as those are released if you subscribe to the channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that peach moonstone brings you that swinging in a hammock by the beach vibe that I always get from it. And please be well. Thank you.